What up, Smart Rapper Gang? Today we're going to talk about 5 things that ruin rappers' careers. And these are things that every up-and-coming music artist really needs to know, because, and I'm going to mention these in a minute, but you even see Blueface making these mistakes. And because what happened is he went and nobody taught him not to do these things, and he's already doing the screwed up things across the board right now. You know what I'm saying? But if you know these things, you can at least consciously look at the things in front of you and be like, okay, wait, don't do that. Rob said don't do that, and he gave me examples of when this happened that messed up an artist's career. So we're going to talk about those things today so you can really learn. I'm trying to help you. That's why Smart Rapper's here, to help you become a smarter rapper. I'm Rob Lovelace, Smart Rapper, almost at 200,000 subscribers. Thanks to you amazing rappers out there. Please hit that subscribe button and hit the little bell when you do so it notifies you every time I release a video, which is on a regular basis. Hit me a like, hit me a comment. We're going to get into this right after the intro. Smart Rapper Gang! Number one, I want to start with this because this is especially for a male artist. I know there's a lot of upcoming female artists who also watch this channel. As far as for males, this can oftentimes be a downfall for you, or become something that really affects your career negatively or slows you down in a big way. I'm going to give you some great examples here using Blueface, using some other artists. And I'm going to start with this with something that I know that all you male artists love and you look forward to having when you do have any type of fame or success, and that is girls. Nas's old manager told me some stuff, some tips. I'm actually not going to share those. I'll share those in a different video. But things that I've learned from people who are in the game, who know things, who watch things, as well as things that are relative right now. First and foremost, quick artist tip just for you. If you ever have a girl sleep over at your hotel or at your place, your apartment, or you go over where she's at, okay? If you don't know her, you don't trust her, you cannot let her have her phone. And you're like, Rob, I know that. Here's the thing. You're not gonna be able to get a private phone out of a girl's hands. That's not gonna happen. So what you need to do is either you need to leave, or 2, you need to kick her out. And both of those situations always seem weird, but it's not worth you sleeping there and having to deal with the consequence. Because not only will she possibly videotape you while you're sleeping, which I've woken up to, yes, and other stuff that I'm not gonna mention. Not nothing that's like bad, but it's like, damn, like really this place? I'm like, delete that, give me that phone. Like, not even kidding you. She may also potentially steal from you. And I've heard tons of these horror stories. Rick Ross getting his jewelry stolen. Look at 2 things that happened in the same month to Blueface, just in February, that had to do with female. That thot took video of him sleeping, like buck naked, sleeping, took that video of herself, like, with him, alright? And that was posted across like dozens and dozens of hip-hop pages that I saw. And I don't know if you saw that, but I saw it because I paid attention, okay? He was just passed out. What happened? Thot gained some clout off of him. Now he looks stupid and she gained some fame. Don't let people use you like that, number 1. 2 weeks later, he got caught up talking to a transgender, a guy that would look like a girl, okay, talking about, let me give you some head before a show. Yeah, he's lucky that he stopped talking to that person before he got out of hand, but that then spread across all the hip-hop pages. Now real quick, let's talk about how this actually ruined a rapper's career at one point in time. Do you know who Lloyd Banks is? You might not know who he is, but he was part of G Unit. He released his first album, Hunger for More, in 2004. Yes, sir, 15 years ago, but still a good example. That Hunger for More album was, actually, I got it right here on the wall, right there. This album is a nice-ass album, okay? It went platinum. It's a great album. It had a lot of really good songs. Should I listen to some songs from that probably about 2-3 weeks ago? Y'all should check that album out. It's dope. Anyway, he was blowing up, doing his thing. He was part of G Unit with 50 Cent. So like 50 Cent released Get Rich or Die Trying in 2003. Then he had everybody from G Unit was having their run. Lloyd Banks' career was on the rise. He was doing collabs everywhere. All he had to do was stay consistent and keep releasing good records, and he would have continued to move upward. But unfortunately, he didn't. While he was sleeping, he had 2 groupies that he had stay over with him. They robbed him. And in part of that robbery, they also took his hard drives that had his music on it. The only finalized versions and finished versions and all the files. So he had to re-record his entire second album. And if you are actually an artist and you've been making music long enough, you know that the initial vibes that you get while you're creating and the excitement and the energy that's getting captured by the microphone, you go to re-record that stuff, it will never come out the same, because there's a disappointing energy that comes out when you're re-recording. You're just like, fuck, I already had it perfect. This isn't what I wanted. And the problem is when that album comes out, people can hear that. You can feel it. Believe it or not, like you re-record a song that was already finished and you were excited and loved it, re-recording it, it will never come out the same. It can come out similar, but it won't be the same. And to have that type of feel on an entire project, it's not the same. That album then only did 500,000 sales, okay? And we're talking about even to date, so like it probably still kept selling to get to where it's at today. So it sold half as much as his first project. And he had more buzz than he had on his first project. It makes sense the album was called Rotten Apple, even though it was about New York. maybe even big after stuff like that happening to him. He was an artist I really liked, but I stopped listening to him after that project. He came back with Beamer, Benz, and Bentley a couple years later, but that's not really my type of song, so I kind of moved on. Number 2, not really being what you say you are in your music. If your music's based on you being street, or let's say you're being this or you're being that, and then suddenly somebody checks your ass and your reaction's not really what the reaction should have been, you're then labeled as fake. When people all see who they expected you to be, and then it's not the same as who you really are, well then you are not that. You're not real. This character, this was fabricated. And when they see this was fabricated, they lose respect for you because it's not genuine. There's a reason why rappers with street credibility last and stay around for a long time compared to artists who are just flashes in the pans who seem to have credibility. That's a lot to explain there, but that's part of it. See, while we still like listening to artists like 21 Savage after we find out he wasn't really where he was from, even though yes, he grew up there, so yes, he was from there. I get that, trust me. But the simple fact that he never mentioned it to us when he could have mentioned it in any of the hundreds of songs that he had made, and that simply would have like kind of counteracted the whole thing. Him not telling us, now every time I listen to 21 Savage, it's like the one thing I can think about. I'm like, damn, like why didn't you just not tell us, bro? You know what I'm saying? It affects how people perceive you because you just weren't genuine about it. When an artist like Young Dolph, who we respect for being an independent artist who really grinded and blew himself up, when he tells you, hey man, I was lying to y'all, I did a big deal like a couple years ago, and that's really what helped me get here today. I had a lot more respect for you because you were independent and you did it yourself. Now every time I look at him, I'm like, damn, that piece of respect is gone for me. And that was a lot of the reason I really fucked with you, because I'm an independent artist. And I really am independent. I really did get my money myself, right? So when somebody else is like, nah, labels will help you the whole time, I pretended like I was independent. See, that's not real. That's fake. And I still have a lot of respect for him. He still makes great music. But still, like, there's this piece that I'm missing now that I was like, that just disconnected from his entire existence to me. Because I really had so much respect. I'm like, damn, he one of the dudes really doing it, nobody helping him. Then he's like, nah, I was lying, yo. All right, what's the fuck with you? Yeah, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, why? Don't do that. You have to be real and honest. If you're not in the streets selling drugs, don't rap about it. Rap about what you know. The more genuine you are, the more people can relate to you. The more people are gonna want to stick to you. It allows you to speak more freely to your audience in the long run. They know you're being yourself, and they always expect that from you. And because you're being yourself, all you always really need to do is just be yourself, which is the easiest thing to do, and they'll always connect with you. If you're fake, you gotta keep being fake, and it seemingly gets faker. You don't wanna be fake. If you get caught anywhere in that chain of being fake, that'll ruin your rap career. That's why I don't rap about something. I don't rap about this, I don't rap about that. But one thing I will rap about is, I will smack you in the fucking mouth if you disrespect me, and I'm not scared of many things. That's me. But I'm not gonna be like, yeah, I'll kill you, dog. You know, I'll kill. Like, I'm not gonna, or be like, oh, y'all saw the brick, dog. Like, I'm not doing any of that. That's fake. When I say these other things, like, this is really me. I don't need to extend outside of these in any other direction. Be who you are. If you are that aggressive type because deep down you're angry, like I am, like I was because of my childhood, well, you can say things about certain things because you're angry and you maybe really would. You know what I'm saying? But when somebody tests you, you gotta do what you gotta do. Number 3, burning bridges. Some artists get super big, go right to the top, and they think that because they're so big, then nothing can touch them. Unfortunately, you're not at the top forever, and when you start coming down, you start to have to deal with those people again. If you piss off record label executives when you're signed to a record label, for example, and then you get dropped from your record label or your contract ends, you don't think that those label heads talk to the other label heads and they know how difficult you are to deal with, and now you're gonna be a problem to deal with and nobody wants to give you a record label deal. You think that if you shit on a rapper and laughed at him when he asked you for a collab when you were at the top, and then now you fell off the chain and that rapper has built his buzz up, and now even though you're at the same damn level and you were bigger at one time, you think he's gonna fuck with you? Why ever have been mean to him at any time? I even tell kids who have 150 followers, hey Rob, can you collab me, Rob? I'm like, I don't know why you're asking. In my head, I'm like, you know it's not gonna happen, but I don't tell them no. I respond and say, maybe one day, man, keep hustling. Because in my head, when I say that to somebody, I'm thinking this motherfucker may be bigger than me one day. Because I believe everybody's capable of it. And you don't know which one of them motherfuckers is gonna blow up. So you know what? Maybe one day, bro, keep hustling. Because he could be that person, right? And he's gonna remember I said that to him. Now there are artists that fall off and then come back every couple years. Soulja Boy's a great example. He does it on a regular basis. And in general, this is only possible because they kept good relationships through their entire career. Not necessarily Soulja Boy in this case, but other artists, like ones that may seemingly have fallen off, but then they pop back up out of nowhere, then they fall back off, then they pop back up out of nowhere, you know what I'm saying? Because these people, because they've been nice to everybody, up and down the ladder, they can ask people for favors. and people like them, so they're able to stay consistent and relevant because they can ask for favor. They put in the time and the work and the dedication to building relationships. Number 4, spending your money wrong. Sure, you get a big label deal, not understanding that you're actually in super amounts of debt. But let's say you did a 3-album deal, and then you stack up some of your money on the side aside from that deal, because generally the label's just gonna take all their money. You're not really gonna get a check for a minute, even if you earn. Now let's say you get out of that label deal. Where are you going to invest that money, if you have any money, to keep yourself afloat, to keep your music career moving so that you can maybe get another deal, or that people are still paying attention to enough to where you can keep buzzing and stay relevant? How are you gonna market your music videos? How are you gonna shoot the music video? How are you gonna pay for going on tour? Most artists fall off because when somebody else is doing all the work for them, it's no problem because they don't have to do the work, somebody else is doing the work. But when they have to start investing their own money or take time and energy to do something else, they aren't willing to take the risk because they've never been the person in charge of their money. Or they've already wasted their money and they don't have it to invest back into their career to stay afloat. Oftentimes people get label deals for numerous albums. The thing is though, if you get signed and a label believes in you and they put X amount of dollars into you and your first project flops, they generally don't give you a second chance because they've already put money into you. They did not see an ROI, a return on their investment. Therefore, it seems like if they promoted your next 2 projects, no matter how much you believe in them, that they're then gonna lose more money. They're not just dumping money down the drain on you. They leave non-performing artists for dead because, after all, it's business. You're a product, not really an artist. So if you're an upcoming artist, take this into account. Make sure you're always backing up money so you can continuously invest in your career to keep moving forward. Number 5 is massively, massively important. Number 5 is artists didn't stay consistent. If we see an artist that is super hot for like a summer, like a full 6 months, but then 6 months later, they're damn near non-existent. It's because they didn't stay consistent. And it was generally from their lack of work ethic. You have to be consistently making music, promoting yourself, getting yourself heard, gaining new fans, and pushing your career forward in some way, shape, or form. Some artists think that because they have one hot song, boom, they're hot forever. I know that I made that mistake. It's a big pitfall. Problem is though, most artists don't recover from this pitfall. It's because working your way back up the totem pole when you were at the top of the totem pole, that fall is so long and you just hit the ground and it shakes your life to the core. It breaks you. And some people can't recover from it. Those artists suddenly realize what it actually takes to make it and then they just give up. They've already became absorbed in the fast life, the women, the cars, the mansions, the money, the attention that people are giving them. And when that leaves, when those things leave, they're endlessly searching for a way to get that feeling again. But you only get that feeling through working for it, but they're too absorbed in the feeling of once happened. And they can't seem to work around it, and they eventually just like wallow in their own sorrow and just die off and you never hear from them again. Look at someone like Designer. Panda was a hit. Panda was a solid song, okay? Then he had Timmy Turner, which was like it was like an okay song, but it was like a C-class song. Like that wasn't gonna really do anything for him, but maybe keep him afloat, which means that he would need a new Timmy Turner every 2 months. But then what? And he was signed to Good Music, which is under Kanye West, but he wasn't producing anything valuable or doing all the other things it took to progress his career. Where's he at now? I honestly don't know. Maybe he's doing amazing, but I haven't heard anything about him in like 2 years. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful at all, but this thing comes back to, I'm trying to educate and teach you. And another thing with him was, part of the thing that shook him up was him sounding identical to Future. I got bras in Atlanta. He didn't, and we all knew that was fake because he had even said in an interview, somebody asked him, yo, you got bras in Atlanta? He's like, yo, I've never even been to Atlanta. Right? So that fakeness, that hurt his reputation massively. Him sounding identical to an artist that was nowhere near where he was from and had that sound, that hurt him. Like whatever, that can keep going to this. Anyway, he was super buzzing for like a year and then boop, gone, like most artists. When you get to the top, you're gonna work twice as hard to stay on top while also juggling the lifestyle that exists. So it's almost 3 times harder to stay on top when you're on top, believe it or not. And you can't take breaks. People just move on. Doesn't matter who you are. You just became a smarter rapper. Hope this helped you out, alright? Please hit me with a subscribe. Click the little bell when you do, because it's going to notify every time I release a new video so you can become a smarter rapper. Please hit me with a comment. What do you think about this stuff? Give other people some examples of times and people that you've seen stories like this, because I know there's a lot of these things that people need to see. And I'm just trying to educate you guys on the things that these things really truly do matter. I don't want you to suddenly blow up and then you don't understand what it takes to stay there, because the hardest part is getting that blow up to happen, right? That's what you're working for right now. But when it happens, how are you gonna sustain it? A year later, you can fall right back down. And then what are you gonna do? So I hope these things are helping. Please hit that subscribe button and comment below and all that stuff. Keep hustling, gang. I will see you at the top if you keep hustling. Small rapper, gang.